I'm a fallible person who screws up and makes mistakes, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry that I was such a bad leader the first 5 years we were in the company. I tell it to my first levels all the time, although they're doing really well. Maybe I should go back to that. Being able to be transparent makes people trust you, because they can then be transparent with you. With my children, this was my husband. Glenn totally disagreed with me on this. Jessica's entering 7th grade. I believed it was my responsibility to inform her of every word she's going to hear on the bus and define that word for her. Because me, as a 13-year-old, I didn't know what any of that meant, and I didn't want to ask and look stupid, so I made guesses and assumptions, and I certainly wasn't going to ask my mother. And my sister just laughed at me if I brought stuff up. So I just hear all this stuff, and you kind of laugh, and you just feel kind of lost and uncomfortable. And sometimes you use words you shouldn't use because you don't know what they mean. So I just decided, I'm just going to explain them all. So we sat outside, and I explained them all. I mean, from the really, really mild ones in the genre up to the, Glenn's sitting there like this. I cannot believe you're saying that to her. But you know what? She tells me everything, because I said it first. She knows I know what those words mean. For some reason, our kids think we don't. I've already bridged the gap on the really uncomfortable conversation. I can't believe my mother just said that word. So now I can come to her and say, I heard this thing, and not have to feel weird. So when we put it out there first, it bridges a gap with our kids. It bridges a gap with our jewelers. There is a new measuring stick for success. We talked about level of engagement. There are a lot of people, they call them Q&S people. They're the quit and stayers. They quit a long time ago, but they stay. Don and I were going through our report today about our quit and stayers. They keep renewing. I have a girl who has not done a home show in 6 years. She keeps renewing. Seriously, that's exactly, this is the face I make. She's absolutely a quit and stayer. Now, is this a place I'm investing my time? No. She's making a decision, and for whatever reason she's making a decision, but she's a quit and stayer. That is not a place to invest my time. Recognize there are people there. There are people who keep showing up, but they're not actually engaged. You need to be able to discern those people and be able to invest in those people. Then there are those who are actively disengaged. Do you know that it would cost a company less money to take the negative, disengaged people, keep them on staff, and make them stay home? Pay them their full salary, full benefits, you're never allowed to come to work. Because what you do so badly affects everybody else around you that we go way down in productivity. So you can stay on, don't ever come back. That's really powerful. Mm-hmm. So quit and stay. Don't be a quit and stayer, don't be disengaged. And when you look at people in your business, use that as the measuring stick. Not just, what are her numbers? Not just, does she sign up, does she come to every training? I've got some amazing jewelers who can't come to every training. They do what they can. They're trying to keep harmony. They're trying to make it work. They're actively engaged. You have to make sure that you are looking past here with people and actually get into their life to be able to lead them. You can't lead from your office. You can't lead from behind your computer. You can't lead via text. Louder for all to hear. You cannot lead via text. I think I hear an amen. Who said she was going to amen? Who said that? Somebody said she was. You can't. Is it a tool? Can you use it? Can you stay in touch? Yes. But you need to be out in front. You need to be there. They need to see your face. They need to hear your voice. You have to lead. If you're going to lead people, you have to be with people. It's hard. It is so much easier to sit behind my computer and send group emails. That is so much easier. It is so much easier to send a group text. It is so much easier to just blanket statement everybody. It is easier. That's why it's less effective. To be able to lead well, you have to be out with people. Are you too busy? This is a very important question. Are you too busy doing the wrong things to lead well? I time to be with all my people. Do you know how much stuff I have to do in my office? I don't have enough time to go out to lunch with her. I have all of these emails to answer. You may not say those exact words, but I've talked to people who are too busy doing the wrong stuff, and they don't have any time to do the stuff that's actually going to build their business. They like playing office. They like creating great invitations, and I love you all because I don't and I steal them, but I'm just saying. If it's your gift and you can do it in 5 minutes, do it, and then share it with the rest of us so I don't have to spend 4 days trying to figure it out. But make sure that you are not doing busy things in this business. That you're actually with people. It's messy, it's harder, it's frustrating. You actually have to get down into their mess with them. Okay, but let's go back to Jesus. I mean, God could have made a different plan. I'm just going to stay up here because I'm not coming down into there. So just from here, I can just go praying. You're all saved. Stand up here. It's nice up here. He didn't do that. He came down into our messiness to lead us. And even when he was here, he didn't say, okay, you're healed. He used his spit and the dirt in his hands. He touched people. He got into the messiness of their lives to lead them. He didn't sit up on his throne and tell everybody what they need to be doing. If you want to lead, you're going to have to get in the trenches with your people. You have to be willing to get messy. You have to be willing to be vulnerable and transparent and hurt with them and laugh with them and cry with them and have fights with them and forgive them if you're going to lead them. It doesn't happen from your office. It doesn't happen from your text. It doesn't happen from your computer. I'm not saying you can't use those things. I use them all the time. But they are not a replacement for actually working with your people. If you never spoke to your husband, but you texted him all the time, but you have a really deep level of intimacy.
Absolutely, yeah.
You never saw him in person. You never saw his face again. You haven't seen him in 18 years, but you are happily married. It's stupid. It's stupid, right? That just doesn't even make any sense. But we think we can do that with our people, with our kids. The two greatest enemies of success are busyness and stress. It is really easy to be kind when we're not busy. It is really easy to be generous when we're not in debt. It's really easy to be helpful when we're not late. So we can all be these, do you ever realize how kind and wonderful you are on vacation? My kids have actually said that. We like vacation daddy. To try to find a way to be that all the time. To be less busy, less stressed, so you can be more available. We have something we call the ministry of availability. The ministry of availability. Someone calls you and says, can you, I need, you say yes. That's the ministry of availability. In this moment, right now, this person has a need, I can meet it. Is it big? Is it glamorous? Do you get your name on paper because you did it? No. What's an example of that? We were leaving Bible study. I was on my way to hostess coach. And this one girl, she's got these three little, just these cute little boys, 4 and under, just adorable little ducklings that follow her everywhere. And she's not doing well. She has some health problems. I said, Jess, do you need something? Is there something I can do? She said, no, I'm just going to the doctor's. You know, it's fine. I'm heading to the doctor's office now. And I said, well, what are you doing with them? Oh, they'll just come. I said, well, why don't you let me take them? Oh, no. I have to move 3 car seats. We're not going to ask. We'll just switch cars. No. It's okay. And I said, let me help you go to the doctor's office. She says, well, can you just come with me and just sit there with them so I don't have to take them in to the doctors? Could you just sit there? Yes, because I can. Because I work this business that gives me the freedom to make choices that are good for people. So I can call my hostess and say, Patrice, are you going to be around for about another hour? I just need some extra time. Sure, are you okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Got them, she said, what happened? And I told her, and she said, I can't believe you did that. So not only did I bless Jessica because I helped her to go to the doctors, but being able to witness to somebody else,
Yes.
just because I sat with 3 kids for 20 minutes in the doctor's office. That one thing, if we did that one thing, if we all did the ministry of availability, every time God put that in front of us, How much more effective are you going to be as a leader? How many more people are going to say, wow, I want to do that too? How do you do that? So busyness and stress. The last thing, I know we're closing up here, is the recognition system. How do we recognize people in the company, in our homes? How do we recognize people that's going to get the greatest impact? I have an issue with bribes. And too often I feel like there's bribing that goes on. We bribe people to work. We bribe people to hit it. Here's the carrot, ding, ding, ding. You know, like, there's a place for that. But I've done a lot of research. There are several books that I've read on the topic. People are more motivated by acknowledgement recognition than carrot recognition. For example, I want someone to do a poster for this event that I'm holding, and so I ask a couple people to do it, and I find one, and I pick one, and I come up at the next sales meeting we have, and I say, "Did you guys check this out? You know what, Donna did this. That's not amazing, Donna, this is so amazing." I talk about her, I show the poster, I have her come up, and I just praise her. I don't give her a prize, I don't give her money, I don't give her a purse, I don't give her a tiara to wear. I just praise her in front of her peers and explain why I'm praising her. That's healthy recognition. She goes home feeling like a princess, not because she wore a tiara, but because someone acknowledged her efforts, praised her in front of her peers, and gave her recognition. If you want to recognize your people, start finding ways to recognize them that way. I'm not saying eliminate the other stuff. It's not an either or. But this type of recognition will go a lot further in actually strengthening their spirit, not just getting them to chase the next carrot that you offer. So if you want them to engage in the vision that you have, providing an environment like that where they go, "Oh, I'm going to do it next time, because she got all that support and everyone really clapped for her, and I really want to do that. I want to be seen as the successful one." So we're going to do a big event, and we have our budding photographer over here who takes all the pictures because she's had passion for photography. So she's going to do her photography, and she's going to put the pictures up, and I bring her up, and I'm going to say, "Just look at these pictures she took. She's such an amateur photographer, but isn't this amazing? Wouldn't it be incredible to do that?" How hard is that? It didn't cost me a dime. I didn't have to invest all everything that I made. I didn't have to invest my commission check. But she feels better than had I given her a purse or a ticket or a prize. Okay, so when you think about acknowledging, recognizing your people, recognizing your kids, quit buying them stuff. Acknowledge who they are. Quit giving them something to make them happy. Recognize who they're becoming, the positive things that they're doing. Hold it up to show other people why you're proud of them and what it is that they're doing well, not just rewarding them for something they've already done. It's a different way of doing recognition because our world has changed. Everything's becoming more automated. People don't need to work on assembly lines because we have machines to do that. So it used to be, this is my job, I punch my clock. If I get overtime, that's great because then I get more money. And that was what people did. We don't do that anymore. People want more. I want more meaning. I want more fulfillment. I don't want my paycheck stamped. I want more. We cannot keep recognizing using a system that is very outdated and expected to have results in a culture that wants more. We can't continue to recognize people the way they did 50 years ago when they're not doing that same work. People are looking for purpose in their work. So quit recognizing the result and recognize the purpose behind that result. Quit recognizing how many shows they've held and recognize how many people they served. One of the recognitions we do is called the Dove Award, Demonstrating Outstanding Virtuous Example. We find jewelers who are doing something that has nothing to do with their shows, but it's something they've done for a hostess or someone that someone hears about. And we bring them up and we tell everybody. If you were at Rally, the story about the girl who had Down syndrome, and she had a pink, Tim read her story, had a picture, she died, she was wearing the petals necklace. Anybody kind of says, okay, she was one of my jewelers hostesses because she received the Dove Award because of how she treated this girl. So she went from feeling really good about herself to being recognized at my meeting that I shared with the home office. She got recognized and impacted 8,000 women. That's recognition. That's what makes people stay. Not because they were won the top prize, but because someone saw them see me. Everybody wants to be seen. Does anybody know I'm here? Does anybody even see me? That's how you can recognize effectively. See people. See people at your show. See your jewelers. Look at your husband. See him. See your children. That kind of recognition will bless people in a way that will blow your mind. This is what I'm passionate about. And I'm going to start crying because I'm going to stop now and do a little advertising. I do have 2 new books coming out next month. The website is larynweaver.com, and I do events, and I do small retreats and big retreats, and I do one-on-one coaching. The one book is Every Woman's Journey, and it's just a daily devotional. I, too, am an amateur photographer. So I have a reflections book that comes out, and a workbook called State of the Union about intimacy in your marriage. And my husband and I have a book coming out in the fall called Promises Kept, which is our story. We married 20 years in October. And it's just our story that's really kind of crazy of how we got here. It's my hope through all of those things that people start to stop. I want you to just stop and take a look at your life. Instead of just letting one more day come and hit up against you, and hit up against you, and hit up against her, and 10 years go by and you're like, what am I doing? Stop. Take a minute. This business is a perfect place for you to do that. Because they have created a culture that allows you to do that. Because it's not about do more shows, do more shows, do more shows. It's not about that. It's unlike other companies. This is a culture that will allow you the room to do it. Take advantage of it. Because you can become anything you want to become. Use Premier as the vehicle to get there. Thanks so much for having me today. I love being here.
Should not climb up off stage on stages, right? But isn't she awesome, guys? Yeah. And I wish I would have brought that picture. I'm sitting there, I'm going, I should have brought the picture of her at the first rally. Her hair was down to here.
I burned it.
You burned your hair?
No, the picture.
Oh, I have it still. And it was curly, and she didn't have a very happy look on her face.
I was cold.
She was cold. Body language speaks volumes, right, girls? But anyway, this is a thank you just from us for being here today. So thank you so much for being here. Oh, and I've been feeding her since she's been here. Of course, we've been eating out. I took her to Rosebuds today. You guys know Rosebuds? Oh, yeah. I know.
Still full.
Yes, I'm still full. I don't even think we need to eat dinner tonight. I said, well, you better eat at like 2 o'clock because you can't eat right before you train. You know how that goes. But I do want to just say, I forgot to mention this part about this, and I'm hesitant to even say this, but I just want to, for those of you who are new to the business and may have never heard this, I just want to give you a little bit of vision. You know, we talked a lot about how Premier can grow you spiritually, how it can grow you, change your life, and it can. But I also want to share just some of her numbers with her. You can say, I honestly wrote these down before I came, they were on the back side of her sheet, so I forgot to mention them. But I just want to give you some vision for where this business can take you and can take your family. Yes, the person who's sitting in the chair that you occupy right now will not be the same person that's going to be sitting in that same chair that's you in 10 years from now if you stay with the company and continue to be here, because you will grow as a person. But it's going to also impact your family's life. I've seen Lauren's family. I've watched them grow. I've seen Max since he was this little, and now he's almost as tall as her, and I'm like, wow. But, you know, in 2003, she came in here. Remember I told you how many shows did she do? Do you remember? 100, yes. She made $8,300 her first year in the business, okay? This is just her commissions from sponsoring those 13 people. What did I say? She sponsored 15 people. So her first year in the business, she made $8,300 from having about 15 people on her team. You know what's so funny is, and when she said this number to me, I go, mine was 9,750. I mean, it's like, literally, that's what's going to happen. And her second year in the business, from her commissions, I want you to think about the number of how this can impact. Your first year, if you sponsor 15 people, her second year in, I mean, you're not going to get rich on $8,300. Is that true? No. You can maybe buy a used car. That's about it. Okay. Second, 2004, her income went to $31,000. Now that's significant. You can buy a new car. You went from a used car to a new car. True? Okay. Her third year in the business, her commissions were at $37,000, and then listen to the next one. In 2006, she made $65,000 from her commissions alone. And then it went to $91,000, and then to $99,000, to $130,000, to $192,000, to $209,000. I mean, that's significant. Could that change your life? Yes? Yes. How about this side? Yes, could you spend it? Could you find some way to do that? It changes your life. But the person you see sitting here is not the same person that I did at OP at Eaton Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We call it Eaton Pew in Pittsburgh. It's not. She's a completely different person. And that's a blessing, isn't it, though? But so girls, you know, Premier can change your life. Yes, the jewelry is a vehicle.